guys, this is Darius T from Natural Living Outdoors coming at you this morning. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what has happened, why there have been no videos posted. I know I promised videos several days ago. Well, I found out that computers do not like me. I filmed several videos on several different topics, which now I'm going to have to refilm. I edited them all, and somehow from the camera to the computer to YouTube, somewhere in that, whatever you want to call it, they disappeared. So I lost probably several hours of footage that I had already shot. I just wanted to come to you and tell you that we are going to be shooting them again. This morning what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a fire started. It's a little chilly out here this morning. Get some water on for a cup of hot chocolate. I kind of favor that over coffee personally. We're going to show you a product today that I just picked up, and I want you to take a look at, and we'll talk a little bit. Be back with you real soon. Okay guys, as you can see, I've got a fire going over there. It's not much. It's very windy today. Well, it was kind of wet again, but it's roaring pretty good. So we'll let that die down to ash, and while that dies down to a manageable level, we'll talk about some of the things I wanted to talk about. Be right back with you. Okay guys, I'm back real quick. I want to show you these products that I picked up. I picked these up at Walmart. I'm not knocking on Walmart. They've got some good deals on some good stuff there, but these particular, I don't know if you've seen them or not before, but it's the orange cap with the supposed strike anywhere matches here, and there's quite a few of them inside there. But these matches are the red matches, no white tip. Trying to get that fire started, 8 of them failed to light. This is why we test product. Don't just buy something because myself or somebody else out there that's a lot more knowledgeable than me says that it's a good product. Word of mouth is great. It's a good thing. That's how a lot of our products get chosen for what we do. But don't let word of mouth be the only thing that you go on. Pick up the item, take it out, and test it, test it, test it. I picked these up because I believe in, having redundancy. 2 is 1, 1 is none. That's a philosophy a lot of us think like and a lot of us live by. So I picked this up as kind of a redundant way of starting fire, an easy way. If I don't feel like breaking out the bow drill, if I'm too tired, full with that, I've got matches. I also carry a lighter in my pocket. No big surprise, but I will start a fire with a lighter in a second. And for some of the people that these types of videos are aimed at, those people that are not the most physically fit or physically able people in the world, it's okay to have a lighter in your pocket. If you're going out to learn these skills just so you possess them, that's great. That's a good thing. We want to have these primitive fire skills. We want to know how to use a bow drill. We want to know how to start a friction fire. We want to know how to use flint and steel. That's great. But it's also great to have a lighter and light a fire when your life depends on it, and not sit there and worrying about carving a bow drill out of wet wood or finding the right materials. Take out the lighter, light the fire, problem solved. That being said, a lighter is not an end-all be-all. We want to have what is called sure fire, guaranteed fire, something that will light no matter what the conditions, and that's something that we'll talk about in a later video. I have several that I would like to show you that I've played with through the years, and a couple of new ones. These matches, I do not remember the company that makes them, so I can't tell you. I can't tell you not to go buy them. But would I bet my life or my family's life on using these to start a fire? Absolutely, positively not. I'll be right back with the package I want to show you. Okay guys, I've brought the close-up here on the top of the stump so that I can show you the product that I picked up. This particular product, before I show it to you, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I've got my notes here. I was looking around on Bushcraft USA, and a lot of the guys were talking about Enzo trappers, building Enzo trappers, building knives, putting knives together. Now, there are a lot of professional knife makers and designers on that particular forum, but I am not one of them. I don't have that skill. It's one I wish I did have, but I wondered, could I take a kit and could I put a knife together out of a kit? Now, this particular knife is an Enzo Trapper Deluxe kit that I'm going to show you. It's from Thompson's Scandinavian Knife Supply. The owner there is Brad Jarvis. Had a nice long talk with him. Got this in the mail a couple of days ago. The first video I shot on it was one of those videos that got destroyed, so we're going to do it again. We're going to go over the components of this. I'm going to put it together for you here quickly, and we're going to talk about knives a little bit this morning. Alright, I want to show you these components as much as possible, so I'm going to try to stay out of the picture so I can focus on these. I want to show you the unboxing here and taking it out of the package. I hope that is good enough. You don't watch these videos to look at me, you watch these videos to look at the products. At least, I hope you do. If not, that's okay too. Okay, first we have the blade component. I'll get that out in just a second. Then we have the scales and pins for, I'm sorry, the pins are in here with the blade. These are brass. I'll show them a little bit more closely here in just a second. And then what we have is an extremely well made, very nice sheath. I hope you guys can see this. It's very thick, very heavy leather, extremely well stitched and tooled. Comes with a belt strap here that you can move. I suppose you could probably take it off and use what it's connected to right here too if you wanted to, although I don't know why you would. But guys, this is heavy duty. This sheath in and of itself, I've looked up similar sheaths online, and sheaths like this are generally $30–40 or more just by themselves. So this is a really, really nice heavy duty all leather sheath. Let's see. Now, as you can see, this one here has the black micarta scales, and these are not finished by any means, but they have a liner already epoxied in. So I know that you can also get them without the liner epoxied in, but this one, I wanted the easiest kit possible because, like I said, I have no mechanical or very little mechanical expertise. I can deal with a screwdriver and a hammer. That's about the extent of my knowledge there. So I wanted something that anybody could put together, and this is the kit that he recommended. Now, you can get these scales in a variety of materials, not only micarta, but different kinds of wood and stone even, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit, but I just wanted to show you scales themselves. Nice black micarta scales. Now, they are going to take a finishing, and they are going to take a sanding to grind off all the little, my son calls them boogers, but all the little bits on here. They are unfinished. Okay, I just want to make that clear to you before we head on. Now let's look at the blade. Now I'm not going to take these out right at the moment because I'm going to lose them, but you can see that the pins that hold the blade to the handle and hold the handle together are really nice brass pins. Actually, they're rivets, I guess you would call them, and they're Corby rivets. Now we'll move on to the blade itself. This particular blade is a full tang, what's called a full tang blade, which means the metal doesn't stop here at the blade where it goes into the handle, or it's not shaved down. It's the full width of the knife all the way back to the very end. It is a D2 steel blade. I've got my notes here, don't laugh. I don't have the memory that I used to, guys. The Enzo Trapper Deluxe Kit. It is a carbon steel, so you do have to maintain the maintenance on it. You do have to oil it. This blade is also sold in a full 1095 steel, an 01 steel, and the new 3V, mythical Elven steel that they're talking about, that was forged in Mordor and all that good stuff. I haven't got to see one of those yet. Those are very expensive, but hopefully one of these days we'll do a test on those. But a lot of folks like the D2 steel. It's a really good steel, holds an edge. Now, as I said before, these scales are available in a wide variety of materials. He's got bone, mammoth tusk, and hippo tusk that you can get these made out of for the different knives. All different kinds of antler, elk, moose, reindeer, you name it. He can get it, or he's already got it. Also different woods, maple, birch, also stone. These Corby rivets you can get in a variety of different rivets. They come in brass, they come in copper, they come in stainless, you name it. The thing about this particular knife, all you have to do is epoxy the scales on, put the rivets in, tighten them up, grind everything down, sand everything down, finish it up, put a nice finishing sharpness on it. He also sells handmade knives that he's already made. He's got every kind of finish or Scandinavian blade that you would ever want. They're on there. I don't know a whole lot about them. You guys need to go and take a look. It's Thompson Scandinavian Knife Supply. I'll put the link down at the bottom of the video. There are different styles of these blades. He's got the Enzos, he's got the Trappers, Fishers, Campers blades, Badgers, he's got Nordic blades. I mean, you name it, it's there. Go take a look for yourselves. This is the knife, or I'm sorry, this is the sheath that comes with the deluxe kit. You can order differing sheaths. Okay, he makes all different kinds of sheaths. You can order them with fire steel retention straps and all kinds of stuff on the sheaths, but this is the one that you get for the basic kit. Now this basic kit altogether, what you see here, what I've showed you today, is about 90 bucks. Somewhere 85, 90 bucks. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but definitely go there and check it out. Now, for you guys that make knives, he's also got knife making supplies. He's got brass and nickel sheet, he's got wax, ferrules, bolsters, caps, tang nuts, pins, you name it, he's got it. He also sells knife making tools, files, sharpeners, whatever you need. This is like a one-stop kind of place from what I've read and from what I've gathered talking to him and from what I've seen on the website. This is a one-stop place to get just about whatever you need. Now, I don't work for him. I'm not affiliated with him in any way. I'm just telling you what I saw. Now, back to the blade. This particular blade, as I said, is the Trapper Deluxe blade. It's 8 1/4 inches complete from the end to the tip. The blade is 3 7/8 inch. It's 25 millimeters thick. It weighs 140 grams. So you can tell I wrote this stuff down, did my homework. The Rockwell hardness of this steel, for those that are interested, is between 60 and 61 on the Rockwell scale. It's got a Scandinavian, or what is known as a Scandi for short, grind on it, ground to 0. Now there's different grinds you can get on this blade. You can get the Scandi ground to 0, you can get the Scandi ground with a secondary bevel, you can get convex ground, you can get flat ground, you can get different finishes on the blade. You can get a satin finish, which is what this is, or you can get a bead blast finish. I mean, whatever you want. And like I said, he's got the different kinds of steels. Besides the D1 and the O2 and the CPM 3V steel, he also carries a Swedish Sandvik steel, the 12C27 stainless, and the AUS8 Japanese steel, stainless steel. As I put this knife together here on camera, because let me tell you, back up a minute and tell you the reason that I'm doing this. I hate to ramble on, guys. I'm sorry if I am. I'm just a little upset that all my other video got wiped out with all that awesome information, and now I've got to do it all over again. The reason that I'm putting this together on film is I was stuck in the house for about 3 or 4 days last week. It rained. I ended up getting really, really sick. Had a lot of problems. I wasn't able to get outside, and during that time I need something to do. And I know there's a lot of you that I've talked to over the last couple of months as I was thinking about getting this channel started. A lot of you are in the same boat that I am health-wise. There's just not a lot of stuff you can do. When your physical health erodes and you are stuck in the house, and a lot of us are in this position where we're stuck inside, and as your physical health erodes, I speak from experience, so does your mental health. And the physically less able you are to get outside and do the things you love, it messes with your head. It really does. And you know, it can bring on depression, it can bring on a host of other things. We joke all the time on the forums about living vicariously through those that are out there doing what we love to do. Well, it's kind of a joke and it's kind of not. Those of us that can't get out, we do kind of live to see those pictures online. We do kind of live to read those stories. We want to remember what it's like to be out there. We wish we could be out there ourselves. So a very important aspect of this is while you're unable to get outside, while you are healing, whatever the case may be, there are still things that you can do to keep your spirit up. Personally, most of you know that I am a minister. I pray. That's not something that we're going to talk about on this channel. I may have another channel that's devoted to spiritual things. I don't know, but that's not something that I'm going to go into on this channel. But you can PM me a message or email me or something about those things if you wish, but that's not what we're focusing on here. But personally, I pray. Also, what you can do is find yourself things to do. I saw the tutorials online on how to make the little alcohol stoves. For months and months, I tore every Pepsi can that I found or every Coke can that I found to smithereens, until, guess what, I was able to make something I thought I'd never be able to make, and it actually worked. You need to keep yourself busy. You need to keep yourself doing stuff to keep your mind from eroding. Just because your body's sick don't mean you have to let your mind get sick too. Do something. Believe me, guys, it makes you feel good to use your hands. If you are an outdoors type of person, man or woman, doesn't matter. If you are of the outdoors type and cannot get outdoors, you need to be doing something to occupy your time instead of focusing on the fact that you can't get outdoors and letting that tear you apart. Find things to do. Find projects. Find things to build. Find things to whittle. Find things to make. Make some spoons. Make some forks. Build a knife. Do something to keep your mind occupied, and you'll be surprised at how far that goes towards healing your body. Anyway, enough with the metaphysical junk. Let's get back onto the knife building here. I'll lay this sheath aside, and I'm going to show you guys how easy this is. Now, I'm not going to do every step, but I am going to do the basic steps here this morning while I'm still waiting on that fire so I can make some hot chocolate. Don't worry, I'll pick this up. And guys, that's important too. Take a second to talk about. When you're in the woods or in your yard or wherever you are that you're doing outdoors type things, have enough respect for the outdoors to pick up your garbage and pick it up and pack it out with you. Take it with you. Don't disrespect nature. Don't disrespect the outside by putting junk all over and leaving pop cans and bottles and garbage all over. The wildlife get mixed up in it. Don't be disrespectful to creation like that. Pick up your garbage. And as far as wood and stuff goes, if you've cut you a big pile of wood and you're getting ready to leave the area and there's still a big pile of wood, leave it for the next guy. That's a resource. That's something that can be used by the next guy, and that goes into the, only cut what you need, only take what you can use, things like that. We'll get into that in another video. I swear we're going to get to the building of this knife. First of all, we take the brass rivet. Rivet. I'm a bullfrog, guys. We take the brass rivet. There we go. English. Try it. simply unscrew it. Guys, I hope you can see this. It comes apart in two pieces. One's a male end, one's a female end. If you haven't learned about that yet, go talk to your mommy and daddy. They'll explain it to you. But one's a male end, one's a female end. We'll lay those to the side. We'll do the same with the second one. And you know, I have a little bit of trouble with fine motor skills, so if you're going to do this, do it inside. Get yourself some kind of catch-all where if you drop parts, you know, or drop pieces, you're going to be able to find them. I'd hate to drop these things in the tall grass, but I've got a bag sitting right here next to me in case things fall. I've got this area kind of plasticed up right here. I've got a tarp thrown down, so I'll pick that all up later. So anyway, step that you want to do is you want to get an epoxy, okay, and you want to put the epoxy on your scales lightly before you fix your scales to the handle. I'm not going to do that. I want to be able to take the scales off and change them if I want to. If I epoxy them on, then that makes it even harder to do. The thing about this knife is it allows you to do modifications if you want. It has a nice big oval here inside the handle. And what I'm going to do at a later date, and I'll show it when I'm finished, is I'm going to hollow out the center of these handles a little bit right here on both sides to take advantage of this space in the blade so that I've got an area inside there that I can store some things in, maybe some cotton, maybe some tender material. I am not going to glue mine on specifically for that reason. Now, here's how simple this is, guys. You line this up, as you can see, you line it up. The way I did it is you take the male end, man, I hope you guys can see this, and I threaded it through. Then I did the same thing with the other end, the male end on this side. Stick it through. Push it in. Sometimes they want to go in farther than the other side, but that's okay. Okay, you can see I've got the male ends in. Okay. Then I took the other side, laid it on, lined it up, hold it so you can see that it's lined up. There you can see the one fell out, the one rivet fell out. So we'll put that back in. Okay. Once it gets lined up, drop the female end through. Drop the female end through. And if it's lined up correctly, we'll just start to thread them onto that post. There it goes. I just tighten them down as far as I can with my fingers. Now I'll show you again. There it is with the rivets sticking out. You can see they're sticking out a little bit. There it is with the rivets sticking out that side a little bit. Now, just pick a side, lay it down flat, take your screwdriver, tighten them up. As you tighten them up, they're going to pull together. Now they only get so tight, don't over tighten them. Okay, now you can see here, on this side, this one's sticking out, but it's almost flush here. But on this side, this one's sticking out, but it's almost flush over here. That's okay. Once you get them flush on one side or the other, what you'll do after that is you will take sandpaper and you can see these rough edges. You will grind them down, smooth them out until it's all smooth, get those burrs off there. You will also finish your handle, and you will have to grind off the portion of the rivet that sticks out. Okay. The reason I'm not going to put these rivets all the way in is, like I said, I have plans for this knife, what I'm going to do with it. On one of these, instead of putting the rivet in, I'm going to pull the rivet back out, and I'm going to put a piece of hollow tube in there so that I can have a lanyard hole. I'm going to finish up, I'm going to lacquer and finish up these scales. But basically, guys, you could, in theory, put these rivets in, tighten them up, rivets off to where they're smooth, put a finished edge on this, and get it out in the woods. I'm not going to do all that simply because I have other plans for this knife. Now, a couple other things I wanted to talk about real quick. I don't know if I told you, but you can get different edges on this blade. You can get the Scandi ground to 0, which is what this is. You can get the Scandi ground with a secondary bevel, or you can get a flat grind, which goes almost all the way up the blade instead of the Scandi grind, or you can get a convex edge. The guy's name that owns Scandinavian Knife Supply is Brad Jarvis. All these products are, you know, put together by him. The ones he puts together himself, the ones he does himself are ordered from overseas. But that's okay, they make some good steel over there. So again, it is Thompson's Scandinavian Knife Supply. Check him out, guys. You're going to be seeing me over the next couple of weeks playing around with this knife. I'll show you the different modifications to this knife as I make them. You'll see me sharpening this knife, and also I'll be putting this knife through its paces, because I told Mr. Jarvis that I was going to beat this knife up extensively and see what it could do, and I will do just exactly that. Sorry guys, I'm getting rained out. I'm going to have to get out of here before I ruin my camera. This is Darius T. with Natural Living Outdoors. Stay tuned. As the weather breaks, I'll be out here doing some more videos. Stick around. I hope you enjoy them. I really enjoy making them. Really makes my day to get outside. I'm a little winded right now, but it's worth it. Let me tell you guys, if you can get outside, get outside. If it's one step, if it's only to go outside and sit on your porch, whatever you got to do, just get outside. Do something. Keep yourself occupied. Don't let yourself start down that slope, because the mind affects the body. So keep the mind occupied, keep the mind healthy, and I promise you guys, the body will follow. Don't lose hope. Get out, get it done, learn those skills, own them. They may be able to take all your tools, all your canteens, all your gear, whatever the case may be, but they will never take that knowledge and that skill out of your head. So once you put it there, you own it. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, and I don't know if y'all saw that lightning or not, but that definitely signals it's time for me to go. See you guys next time. Stay tuned. God bless.